Well, I've been spending the money today. Boy, have I. So, I've done as much as I can do at this stage because there's a step in the process that I'm waiting to see if I can do. So I can't do any more at this stage. So I thought I would give you a rundown of everything I'm doing at the moment. Why not? Because the weather's a dog's breakfast out there. I can't work, can't do anything at the moment. And my poor housemate has gone away on a road trip and it's bucketing down. Oh my God, the weather over the next few days is going to be so bad that I knew that not even attempt to try get up and work today. I knew the weather was going to be so bad over the next few days. It was going to be the case of sitting at home and literally doing nothing for these next few days apart from booking my trip. So the last time I spoke to you, the only thing I'd booked was my flight to Korea. That was it, nothing else. But I've made progress today, and my bookings are all over the place, so I'm going to have to actually try sort them out because it's kind of like a mess. I've got so many emails going on. But anyway, thought I'd tell you what I booked and where I'm going and what I'm doing, because I've got a bit of a game plan now. Bit of a change game plan, but a bit of a game plan going on, if you're interested. So I will be heading towards Korea from the 15th of next month, which is a month away, isn't it? Or less? What's the date today? Less than a month away. So heading to Korea via Singapore, just a stopover in Singapore, which is nice. Actually, that's really good, because when you fly from where I am, normally to Japan, you're normally stuck in Singapore for quite a few hours. So it's usually a nighttime stopover in Singapore, which is a bit of a pain. You usually got to either brave a long night, which is a bit of a pain. You usually got to get a hotel, which costs money. But flying into Korea, you've only got to... I stay at Singapore. I arrive at Singapore at 12:15 at midnight, and fly out at 2:45. So I'm only in Singapore for a couple of hours, which is rather nice, and hopefully I'll be able to get some sleep on the plane, which I normally can't, but I'll try, he says. Because I arrive in Korea at 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm guessing by the time I get through quarantine immigration, that it'll be about midday. Maybe get to the hotel by like midday, drop off the bags, which means I will have the day, half the day and the evening in Seoul on the 16th, which would be nice. And I've sort of got a little game plan of the afternoon and the evening in Seoul, where I'm going to be positioning myself to do a couple of things there, which would be nice. Booked the day out to go to the DMZ, or incorrectly pronounced by our American friends, the DMZ. The DMZ. So I'll be going there and a few other locations as well, and meeting somebody that escaped North Korea, so that'll be interesting, and go to buy some North Korean souvenirs, so that's going to be happening on the 17th. That's going to be a whole day thing, and then in the evening, don't know what I'm doing in the evening, just look around South Korea, I dare say, get a meal, I don't know, nothing major. On the 18th, I'll be leaving very early. When I say very early, 10 o'clock in the morning, on a bullet train heading to Busan. And I thought about it. I thought about it, and I thought, stuff it. I'm going to go first class on the bullet train. It was about a $30 difference to go economy or first class, and I thought, stuff it. I'll go first class. There's not much difference between economy and first class. But just like with Shinkansen in Japan, there's not much difference between economy and first class, really. or green class as they call it in Japan. But I thought, it's $30. The difference is a bigger seat, and you get a little snack kit and water. That's what you get. So that's a difference. But the seat that I've selected is a single seat. G'day, Super. Beautiful weather, isn't it? A single seat. So, yeah, I thought, why not? First class seat on the bullet train from Seoul to Busan on the 18th. Why not? Should be quite fun, he says. So, as I say, it was $30 difference. You get the little snack kit. It's got some cookies in it and some little snacks. You get unlimited bottled water if that floats your boat. Doesn't really float my boat. Can you drink $30 worth of bottled water? I don't know. But you do get the bigger seat. It's a single seat. You get charging ports. I think the single seat's a good thing. Maybe. I'll set up the camera and, the good thing about the camera that I take, I'll be able to film the whole trip. It's what is it? So I leave at 10:28. Leave 10:28 from Seoul. Arrive at Busan at 1:14 or 1:15. So 10:30, 11, 12, 1. So that's 2 hours and 45 minutes roughly. So 2 hours and 45. It's crazy weather. I was in it today. I was in it playing football. What were you playing football in it today? I knew today was going to be a dog's breakfast. Oh my god, that was crazy. Shouldn't be playing football in today's weather. Crazy. Oh my god, horrible weather. But it is winter. It's funny, isn't it? Every time it rains, we always go, "Oh my god, look at the weather." It's winter. It is what it is. So, when we're in Busan, there is a lot of things that I want to do in Busan, and I can't tell you any of it because I don't know what order is going to happen, but I can tell you that I can guarantee that I will be with Victor from the 18th and 19th and a little bit of the 20th. So the 18th and 19th, the 18th and 19th up to the 20th, we're staying in the hotel together. And then I've booked another hotel, a different hotel from the 20th to the 21st, where Victor won't be staying with me, but he might be staying with me. Because it depends on what he's got to do, because he goes to university and works in that as well. And we may be in Busan, but we might be somewhere else in Korea where we might need to fly to, but we're not quite sure yet, and it depends on his roster. So regardless, the worst case scenario is I will be in Busan from the 18th to the 22nd. And the other case scenario is I'll be in Busan from the 18th to the 20th, and then I will be somewhere else in Korea from the 20th to the 22nd. Does that make sense? At which point we will fly somewhere from the 20th to the 22nd, and then I'd have to fly back to Busan on the 22nd. So is that confusing? I hope not. It's a pain that I have to change hotels. I did try to book the same hotel, but they were completely booked out. But anyway, you get that. And then on the 22nd, I decided that really expensive ferry. I thought about it, and it just seemed really stupid to spend that much money. It really did. So I decided not to do that, and for a couple of reasons. It seemed really, really silly to spend that much money. It really did. But it was also taking me to Osaka, and I'm not a fan of Osaka, I've got to say. Osaka, to me, is just... There's certain places in the world that, like, for example, people fly from Australia to Bali to get drunk. What's the point? Stay in Australia, go to the pub. It's pointless. People fly to Osaka. What's the point? Because Osaka is not Japan. Osaka is just like stay in your own city. It's pointless. I don't get it. So that expensive ferry would have taken me to Osaka, and it was just like, meh. So what I'm going to do instead is on the 22nd, I'm going to take the other ferry, the JR ferry, but I'm going to take it from Busan to Fukuoka. That's what I'm going to do. Hey, Misha, how you going? So Hakata, I'm going to go to Hakata, Fukuoka. That's what I'm going to do. Oh my god, what have I done now? I'm going to be going in the private room, which is not as flash as the very expensive ferry. It's definitely not as flash, but it's by JR. It's a JR ferry, and it's an overnight ferry. And I will be going to Hakata, leaving Busan at about 10 o'clock at night. You have to go through immigration and all that sort of stuff at the port of Busan at like 8 o'clock at night. That's okay. So you get on the ferry, have a meal and that before the ferry departs. And we arrive in Hakata, Fukuoka at 7:30 a.m. At which point I was going to rush to the airport. But I thought, no, stuff it. I will stay in the port of Hakata overnight. Why not? So on the 22nd, I will leave Busan on the ferry, travel all night on the ferry in a private room, which is nice. That cost $190 for the private room. I'll have a meal on the ferry. Nice. Get to see the sunrise in Japan, which is nice. When the ferry arrives, I'll dump my bags off in Hakata at, as I say, it arrives 7:30 in the morning. Nice. Drop my bags off. My hotel is directly at the ferry terminal. I'll go get some breakfast. And there is a Team Labs. It's called Team Labs Forest at Fukuoka. So I'll go to Team Labs because I love Team Labs, and I'll do that. And I will stay in Fukuoka overnight. That's what I'm going to do. And I got a hotel there for $50 for the night on the port, which is pretty good. So I will stay there from the 23rd to the 24th. Very good. Yes. So are we following this? Let's do a debrief again, because that's kind of what I'm up to at the moment. And then there's one other thing I've booked. So I'll be leaving Australia on the 15th, landing in Seoul on the 16th. In the morning, I'll be landing in Seoul. So I'll be spending the afternoon in Seoul and the evening in Seoul. I want to go up to the observation tower for the evening in Seoul. That's my plan, because that's kind of like near where I'm staying, I think. On the 17th, I'll be going to the DMZ, and on the next day, the 18th, I'll be catching the bullet train, first class ticket I got to Busan. I'll be in Busan from the afternoon on the 18th, 19th, and 20th. Victor will be joining me. Then Victor may or may not continue to join me on the 21st and 22nd. If he does join me on the 21st and 22nd, we won't be in Busan. We'll be flying somewhere else in Korea. But if he doesn't join me, if he has to go back to his normal life, then I will stay in Busan and keep exploring Busan. And then on the 22nd, I will catch the ferry from Busan to Fukuoka, Hakata. So it'll be an overnight ferry in the Western style first class room, which is nothing special because it's a JR ferry, but nevertheless, it's a private room. 22nd to 23rd. Arriving there at 7:30 in the morning, and I will then take my bag straight to the hotel, which is at the ferry port, which I got for $50. What a bargain. That's why you don't stay at tourist areas like Osaka. And I'll drop my bag off, have some breakfast, and then I'm going to head to Team Labs Forest, which is in Hakata. And I'll spend the day in Hakata, have a nice little sleep before heading to the airport on the 24th. and flying with Peach up to Sapporo on the 24th, flying to Sapporo on the 24th. And then the rest I haven't booked as of yet, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But I will be in Sapporo, I'm guessing, for only a couple of days. I'm guessing maybe until from the 24th, maybe to the 28th or the 29th only. And that's because I'm in the process of trying to work out dates and book that ferry / busing that I was telling you about yesterday. So my friend that you guys don't know, my other friend that lives in Tokyo, the one I'm going to the baseball with, I'm working with him at the moment to work out the best fare, the best dates, because depending on the day of the week and the dates and everything, and the best room price, depending on the day, to book that. And of course it has to be booked on the phone from within Japan, so he'll make that booking for me. It's just he's busy with work at the moment, so I haven't heard back from him. So once I hear back from him and he tells me the prices, then I will select which room I want and then which day I want. Then I will book that, and then that will kind of like lock in the rest of the trip, which will determine when I come back down to Tokyo. Then I'll be of course in Tokyo for the rest of the time to see the baseball game, and we're going to the. You'll know what this is. I've got no idea what this is. I've got a rough idea what it is, but I don't know, the Ghibli Museum thing. We're going to that as well, apparently. And then I come back to Australia on the 4th of August. So that's the plan. So the itinerary, or how I'm going to go, or what I was going to do, has kind of like changed around and moved around a little bit. It's kind of worked out in some ways cheaper than what I planned, but in some ways more expensive than what I planned. So in other words, some things has worked out a little bit cheaper, but some things has worked out a little bit more expensive. As an example, I didn't plan the Peach flight from Fukuoka to Sapporo, and of course that worked out more expensive than what I had planned that to be. I could have caught Jetstar and it would have been a hell of a lot cheaper. But would you have caught Jetstar? The answer is no. So of course I caught Peach, but of course that was double the price doing that flight. You know, the ferry, for example, I know I was looking at the very expensive ferry going to Osaka. I didn't do that. I did the cheaper ferry, which took me to Hakata. But again, if I didn't catch the ferry and I just would have flown, it would have been cheaper again. You know, if I would have flown, say, for example, if I would have flown from Busan to Osaka, it would have cost as little as $45 rather than $190 for the ferry. It would have cost like $45 to Osaka. And then from Osaka, if I then would have flown, say, to Sapporo, it would have cost, you know, about $60, for example. So it would have cost like $100, you know what I mean? But again, by being on the ferry, it is a night's accommodation. So you could sort of go, okay, well, the night's accommodation, let's class it as $90 for the accommodation. So the ferry is like $100. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's an experience. And the ferry is an experience. I'll never say the ferry is a waste of money, because it's not. It's a very good experience. So I think the ferry at $190 is really, like, when the ferry pass was there, the ferry 21 pass that I've talked about many, many times, that was exceptional value. That was crazy value. So without that, paying full price, which I have, full price as a Japanese person would have to pay $190, I still think that's pretty good, exceptional value indeed. When you think of, it's not just the accommodation, it's also the experience, you know, to see the sun. I don't know if you've ever seen the sun rise over the ocean, you know, rising above Japan. all sailing away from, a country, like sailing away. I haven't sailed away from Korea, but I've sailed away from Japan before, with the lights fading off into the distance and that, especially in the summer. It's all very romantic and very nice. So I think it's a great experience for that price. Do you know what I mean? It could just be me. And then of course it's very relaxing and very stress free, and you just get to chill and get turned off from the rest of the world. And in fact, that's why I say, like, even if you go to, I know a lot of you, when you go over to Japan and most of you go for like 3 weeks minimum, I would say. I think it's very rare anyone goes for a 2-week holiday these days. But when you go over there, it's usually go, 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 go. You're always on the go, go, go. If you take the ferry just for one day, just to charge your batteries and just chill and do nothing, and trust me, it's not boring, you really do get that energy back again. It really does charge the batteries up again. So I have got a Mad Hatter. How are you? Hey, ACC. Bad dog. Not quite sure what that is. So I've gone through a bit of money today. But the only two things the only three things I really have to pay for now is the hotel in Sapporo, the hotel in Tokyo, and the other ferry from Hokkaido through to Tokyo. So I'm not far. I'm not far away to being on budget. I'm still going to have to earn a little bit, but I'm not far away. So I haven't. I was last week. I was kind of stressed. I was thinking, oh my god, I'm not going to hit this. I thought I was going to be miles away from achieving this, but no, we've done okay. We've done kind of pretty good, he says. Yeah. And like South Korea is like super cheap. It's even cheaper than Japan. One of the hotels that I booked today was really funny though. The name of the hotel looks really nice. I got to tell you the name of the hotel. Let me tell you. I won't tell you the dates I'm booked in there. 'Cause I just won't. I booked a few hotels, but yes, PayPal. There we go. PayPal. Very good. Thank you. But I love the name of this hotel. It is. Where is it? Trips. When I saw the name of this hotel, I thought this hotel is going to look really crappy. And then I looked at the hotel, it looked really good. It was like, wow, I'm going to book that. But it was called could just be my brain thinking this. The BS Hotel. The BS Hotel. I thought, yes, that's a hotel for me. What a whole lot of BS that is. Come on, internet. My internet's so bad. The internet company told me today that yes, their internet is crap. So yeah, the BS Hotel. If you're looking for a bit of BS, stay at the BS Hotel. Look up that. Oh, do I really have to look up things? All right, let me look up things. Is a Hungarian surname. It was a surname of medieval noble houses. A genius. You're a genius. Okay. Okay. You are a genius. Very good. You're a genius. You're Hungarian. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. You're a Hungarian genius. Welcome. What's happening in Hungary at the moment? Anything? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Have you been to Japan? You don't have to have been to Japan to be here. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, so the prices in Korea are kind of really good. As I say, like I got the first class ticket to the bullet train because it was $30 difference, but it was $90 for first class on the bullet train. And I know that's kind of like a lot of money, but I thought, why not? Oh my God, what's going on here? What's going on here, people? I'm going to be Googling words this whole stream. Oh. Anyway, moving right along. And what are we up to today? So that's everything I've booked at the moment. Yeah. I have nothing more to tell you. I thought I'd have more to tell you. I don't. That's it. Mad Hatter's still away at the moment. And yeah, hopefully my friend will get back to me today, because as soon as I can book that ferry, if I book that ferry, then I can book the rest of the trip, and then it'll all be done and dusted. My housemate has confirmed he will look after Bella, so that's good. He's gone away on his road trip at the moment, which is good. My mother rang me up and she said, "Are you sure it's safe to go to somewhere like Korea?" So, Mother, yes it is. And she said, "Aren't you going to Japan?" I said, "Yes I am." She's going, "But isn't that a long way away from Korea?" I said, "Mother, it's like an hour away on the plane. I think it's even less." "Is it? I never look at maps." So yes. Yeah. I don't know. If there's anything in Fukuoka, Hakata, that you think that I should look at, do let me know, because I have been there before, but and I kind of like explored it a little bit, but if there's anything that you think I need to look at, let me know. So what is the trip budget up to now? Well, today I spent... What did I spend today? Today I think I spent about... $800. I spent about 800 today. Oh my God, I don't know. I don't know what the budget is. I've got remaining. My budget, I think I'm going to go with it. I think I'm going to go over it though. But my budget remaining that I allotted, I have another $928 that I'm allotting. That's not including spending money. That's just booking everything. So I still have another $928. If I can do everything within that $928, we're talking sweet. We are talking sweet. So yeah. So I've kind of booked a lot. If you've just joined us, Mr. Rimaru Indigo died, who would really like to go live with Ivan. I'll go through it again in case you just joined us. So on the 15th, I leave from Perth. It's a overnight flight, so I leave late in the afternoon/evening. Just stopping in Singapore for 2 hours, which is terrific, because normally if you're flying to Japan, you have to stay in Singapore overnight. But because I'm flying to Korea, I leave on the 15th in the evening, and I arrive in Seoul, and boy do I have Seoul. I arrive in Seoul in the morning, so I'm going to be able to have the afternoon and the evening in Seoul, and I'm going to go to the observation deck and do a couple of things, I don't know. On the 17th, I'm going to the DMZ, and a few other things as well, going to the Red Suspension Bridge and a few other things. On the 18th, in the morning, I'll be catching the bullet train first class to Busan. The 18th, 19th, and 20th, I will be with Victor in Busan. And then Victor will potentially be going. If Victor goes, I will then be spending the 20th, 21st, and 22nd in Busan. If Victor doesn't go, then Victor and I will be catching a flight to a mystery destination that Korea owns, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. And then on the 22nd, I'll be catching the overnight ferry from Busan to Hakata, Fukuoka, and arriving at Hakata at 7:30 a.m. I have a hotel at the port, at the dock, so I'll take my bag straight there, then I'll go for breakfast, and then I'll go to Team Labs Forest in Fukuoka, and then spend the day there, see what's going on. I've been there before, of course. Then the day after that, on the 24th, I have a 10:45 a.m. flight to Sapporo, landing in Sapporo at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Then from there, I haven't booked anything else because we're going to be booking that ferry/bus combo I was talking about yesterday, which will take me down to Tokyo. Don't know what day we're going to book it though, most probably on the 28th or the 29th. So we're still working that bit out. So that bit's still a work in progress at this stage. Mr. Spender, are you accounting for the $200 baseball shirt? Well, the $200 baseball shirt will come out of the spending money. That's what will come out of that. That's spending money stuff. Kolkata. What's Kolkata? Kolkata. Oh, God knows. Kolkata. Did I say Kolkata? I didn't say Kolkata. Yeah, so if I get the shirt, I don't think I'll get the shirt. I don't know. If I got the shirt would be just to put in a picture frame, and then I'd take photos of myself and my friend, and then like have on each side of the shirt, do you know what I mean? And then put it in a big frame. But I don't know if I want to go through that expense of... I may not like baseball, so the last thing I want to see is a baseball shirt, you know what I'm saying? But I got the first class bullet train Korea ticket, which is cool. And I got the first class ferry ticket, which is pretty cool as well. So the first class bullet train ticket was $90. So $30 difference from economy to first class. So I thought, well, it's only $30. Why not? And the first class ferry ticket, which gives you the private room, was $190. So I thought, well, for the private room, you know, I think the first class room for $190, having the private room, I think's worth it. You know what I mean? So, and you could have picked. There were three rooms you could have picked for the $190. You could have picked a room for up to 5 people, and that's 5 people you take. But of course, the more people you have in the room, the more you pay. The room for 2 people, which is the one I selected, and these are Western rooms, or you could have picked the Japanese room. So I picked the Western room. I almost picked the Japanese room. I've slept in the Japanese rooms when I went to like Rabbit Island before and the like. But on the ferry, I thought, nah, stuff it. I'll just go for the Western room. Bargain, yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think on the ferry, I think $190 is a pretty good deal. I think for a private room and that, I think it's pretty good. You know, it's more than a hotel, but you know, you get as I say, you get a night. Because we bought it. I've got it written here. Hang on. So we board at 8 o'clock. Well, we go through immigration at 8 o'clock. The boat doesn't leave till 10. But once you've gone through immigration, you get on the boat. Like the restaurants and that are open on the boat. So you can go in and have your evening meal and all that sort of stuff. And the boat arrives at 7:30 a.m. So by the time you go through immigration, get on board, have a nice meal, you know, settle down, have an onsen, all that sort of stuff. You know, chill in your cabin and... you know, then go up to the deck as the boat goes out, and I think it's pretty cool. You know, 7:30 or get up before 7:30, have breakfast, and of course, when the boat arrives in, they don't kick you off at 7:30. You know, you can take your time. So I think it's pretty good value. Wouldn't even get your seat on a Tassie ferry. No, but that's what I mean, you know. That's exactly what I mean. I mean, it doesn't compare at all, really. I mean, I don't even know what the seat price was on these ferries, because you can just get a well, they don't have seats as such, but you can get like a shared floor space room. You know, you've been in Japan before, you know, that's got the tatami mat and has like 30 people in a room type thing. So they've got those sort of rooms that you can have. Or they've got like the capsule rooms, like the capsule hotel rooms in there as well. So they've got a selection of things. And so I think the tatami mat ones, I think they're really cheap to go into. I think they might be like, I don't know, $30, maybe $30, I don't know, really cheap. But, you know, with these private rooms, you get, you know, your private bathroom, and even though the shared ones, you know, they're going to be clean because there's no tourists on these bloody things at all. So, you know, but you get your private bathroom and, you know, your bedding, and your room gets a TV in it and a table and chairs and window and all that sort of stuff. So I think it's pretty good value. I know the ferry's good value because I've been on a lot of their ferries, you know, so, you know, it's pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, I thought about it, and the $700 one, I just decided not to do it, because even though I would have liked to do it, a couple of things just came into play with it, and it was like, it was taking me to Osaka. Osaka's not a destination I really enjoy going to. It's just like, for example, if you're Australian and you go to Bali, what's the point? You might as well just stay at home and go to the pub, because people that go to Bali just go to Bali to get pissed. People that fly to Japan that just go to Osaka, what's the point? Because Osaka isn't Japan whatsoever. Osaka's just tourists, and it's just a Hollywood stagehead of fakeness. There's nothing Japanese about Osaka or Namba where people go. It's just fake, you know. It's just not real. And I just thought, yeah, nah. And I thought, by not doing that, I can do some other stuff as well. As an example, I can go first class on the bullet train in Korea rather than economy. And even though it's just a flasher seat, it's a flasher seat. Do you know what I mean? So it was $30 extra to go first class rather than economy. So I did that instead. Rather than staying, for example, in a capsule motel in Japan, I'll stay at a hotel instead. Do you know what I mean? So I've basically, all I've done is I've spread out that $700 to just upgrade everything that I was going to do in Japan. And it's opened up other options, like by going to Hakata, Fukuoka. I've now decided, you know, it's allowed me then to fly to Sapporo, which, you know, was a more expensive option to catch the ferry and then fly. I could have called Jetstar. No, thank you. I called Peach instead with luggage. So that was like $150, you know. But I thought that was the cheap, that was the better option. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just choosing better options with that extra money, if that makes sense. The more reliable options. But I'm still saving money other ways, because, like, as I say, the hotel I got at Fukuoka is right on the dock where the ferry pulls in. So I have like ocean views in this beautiful room. And again, this is why you don't go to places like Osaka and that. It's pointless. It's fine the first time you go to Japan. Fine, go to bloody Osaka, whatever. But if you've been there before, don't go there again. Because, like, I get off the ferry, I drop my bag off my hotel. I got beautiful ocean views at the hotel I'm going to. Got a queen-size bed, all this sort of stuff. It's cost me like $40, I think it is, $40 or $45 for the bloody room at the hotel, right? If I got a room like that in Namba, or as a lot of the people do in bloody Shinjuku or that, they'd be paying bloody $150 for the same thing. the richest man in Australia. Oh, no, I'm not. Seriously, like, how-to guy, come on holidays with me. I'll show you how to be a cheapskate, buddy. Seriously. However, I have ordered the DJI Action multifunctional handle battery thing, whatever. The 7-hour battery thing. That's what I have. That's what I've ordered. So that's coming sometime, I don't know, with the thing. No, I'm not the richest man. He won't listen to me, guys. He will not. This man, hardest working man on the planet, he won't travel. He keeps saying to me, richest man on the planet. I keep saying to him, go to Japan. You'll be a rich man. You'll save all this money by going to... He won't listen to me. He just won't listen to me at all. So, yeah. But I've been really surprised that South Korea has been really cheap. Booking things and doing things in South Korea has been ridiculously cheap. There are ways. Of course there's ways. Dirt cheap. There is so many ways dirt cheap. And the thing is, and that's the thing, dirt cheap over there in like Japan, outside of the tourist areas, and Korea as I'm experiencing in that, you don't dip out on quality. And that's what I kept trying to say to the how-to guy. Like, when I stayed at the EG the EG hotel, that had free food. You got free food and drinks 24 hours a day with your accommodation. And that accommodation, from memory, was like $8 a day. And you got free food and drink for 24 hours a day. Yeah, no, that's as high as it goes, man. There's something going on. I don't know what it is. And then it's as high as it goes. There's something going on. This is why I need you to come back on and do your tech things and fix everything up, man. So, yeah. Something's going on, dude. Look. You know what I got? Where is it? I even got... This is why we need you back doing tech stuff, man. The Mic Mini. Look at that. So what have you spent so far to show your cheapness? Well, this trip I've spent a little bit more than normal because of the doctor's misconduct in misdiagnosing me for my brain aneurysm. You know what I'm saying? So I've gone to town a little bit more on this trip. You're eating a pie. Excellent, Sam. What flavour pie is it? I don't know how much I've spent this trip. I'm going to have to add it up. But again, as an example, and I know I'm speaking for Perth here, but where the how-to guy is, I'm sure looking around there'd be a similar sort of thing. You know, scoot from Perth to Singapore, you're talking $140. And then Peach from Singapore to Japan is $99. Hello? You couldn't even get a train from bloody Brisbane to the Gold Coast or whatever for that, Isaiah say. I don't know, you know, so I don't know. I think people in Australia don't realise how expensive Australia is, how much they're ripped off in Australia. You know, for one beer you buy in Australia, and especially, well, one beer you buy at a pub in Australia, you could buy 8. Is it 8? You could buy about 8 in Japan, I think. Meat pie and chips with Nando's salt. Nice. Nice, Sam. Nice. Excellent. We like that. It's not as good as Victor's Uncle Toby's. But anyway. Yes. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the total I've spent. All train trips are 50 cents in Brisbane. Oh, well, there you go. All train trips in Singapore are 10 cents. There you go. All train trips in Singapore are 10 cents. Okay, how much is a train trip to from Brisbane to the Gold Coast? Is it 50 cents? My total budget, including spending money for this trip, including spending money for this trip so that's airfares, accommodation, 2 countries, and everything. If this piece of paper is correct, and my spending money is quite good, is $2,374. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plane trips, 2 international ferries, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hotels, a baseball game, Team Labs Borderless, visiting North Korea, the DMZ, I don't know, the whole list of stuff. Anyway. All of Southeast Queensland, really? Yeah, if you pay $10 for a beer in Japan, you're getting several ripped off, yeah. A bottle of cheap Suntory whiskey, $10. $10, yes. Actually, how to, Guy? Have you actually ever been overseas? And don't say your home country. Is it your home country? Is it your? It's like South Africa's your home country, isn't it? Or do you just have that accent? When did you come to? You came to Australia, or were you born here? And you've just got parents that gave you a really cool accent. But have you been to another country? Because Australia's a friggin' rip-off, man. Australia's a friggin' rip-off. Yeah, so from South Africa, Australia, you been anywhere else? Don't tell me, but if you say Bali, I'm banning you from the channel. Anyone that goes to Bali needs to be banned. Oh my god. Do you know you can buy a house? You can buy a house, how to go. I've told you this. You can buy a house in Japan for nothing. For like zero. But you can buy a nice house over there for like 5,000. Good investment property. You've been to Australia. See, and that's the problem. New Zealand. Dude, come on, man. Seriously? Come on. You smoke. You smoke cigarettes. Yeah, you smoke cigarettes are really cheap in Japan. Real cheap. Cigarettes are really cheap. What do you drink? What's your favorite drink? What's your favorite drink that you... Yeah, like tell us what your favorite drink is and David will tell you how much it is in Japan. How much are cigarettes in Japan? I think they're... I don't know. They're like nothing, are they? But I drink the vodka over there, and it's only $1 for the big things. The $1.20, is it? Something like that. Oh, that gets me off. You quit, good man. You quit. Yeah, I bet you quit because it's just too bloody expensive in Australia. I bet if it was the price of Japan, you'd be smoking like a trooper. Am I correct? Yes, I'm correct. Well, what is the thing you spend the most money on in Australia? And how much do you spend on it?